We are at Ambika Stores Gandhidham right now, and we have got front calipers for CBR 250R. If you are getting it from here, then you will be getting it for like 240 rupees. And if you see and compare it from the one that we have from Brembo, it's very much same. So I guess we can replace it with the vibrate units from CBR 250R. Good morning folks, welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be changing the front brake pads on my Continental GT, which is from Brembo. And the thing is, like, owing to it being imported, I guess they are not really manufacturing it in India. Its cost is really high at authorized service center. I guess it's priced around 2150 rupees. I decided to do it on my own, and that too I decided to find out a substitute for the original one. As if you take a close look at this one, then you will find out that the calipers from vibrate, which is there on my CBR 250R, it's actually same, albeit on the other side of the wheel. Nevertheless, the pads which are going to be used on either one of them was constructionally same, and that was the reason that I opted for the brake pads from CBR. And when I reached the CBR showroom, it was around, I guess, 1400 or something as such. So I decided to do a little bit more of search, and then I found out the brake pads for vibrate from one of the store of my friend for just 250 rupees. And that was the reason that I bought the unit, so that I could test it on my Continental GT for its efficacy, etc. And that's how it looks like. You can see it's very much like the original CBR 250R's vibrate brake pads. Vibrate is basically the sister concern of Brembo brakes in India. These are the old eroded plates. You can see it over here. It's from Brembo, and that's the plate that I got for my Continental GT, and it's from vibrate, I guess. You can see dimensionally it's accurate. So I guess fitting this won't be a difficult task. Now, to fit the newer pads, what I will be doing is, like, as it's common sense that the older brake pads were kind of like pretty gone, so the piston would have been moved a little further. So we need to push the pistons back using the screwdriver or something as such. But before doing that, make sure that you make some sort of backing. Using this one will make sure that your discs are not getting scratched when you are pushing back the pistons into the cylinder. So let me check it. Now it's inside. So now it would be easier for us to slide in the newer pads. Slide them in the order that you have taken it out. You'll have to just bump it a little bit inside. While you push it inside, make sure to take a look from the other side too. And as you can see here, the pad has not properly been inserted, so use your fingers to push it back into its place, and now it's fixed. Can you see it? It has to go here. Earlier it was kind of like outside. So that's how you insert the pad. Now go to the other side, go a little down, and make sure that you can see from here the pad should get into this particular slot. So let's begin. As is evident, the pads are not really going inside, and that was the reason that I had to open the entire assembly to take a look at that what was actually the matter. And I found out that the cylinders that you are seeing over here, let it focus, they were having some sort of plastic stopper placed at the top of that. It was kind of bakelite kind of stuff, and it was slightly larger than the cylinders. Sorry for using a misnomer. It's not actually cylinder, it's basically the piston which goes inside the cylinder of the brake caliper, so that the other pads, which are non Brembo units, could not fit inside. Let's compare the Brembo's brake cylinder with that of vibrate unit. So this particular unit is from vibrate, that is from CBR. I had changed it if you would have seen the previous videos. And you can see there is no recess in case of CBR's cylinders. However, in case of Brembo, you can see there is a slight recess. I can't really use my hand right now. You can see over here. Apart from comparing it from the vibrate unit, I also did a little bit of research, and I found that what Brembo does is like for most of the brakes which is marked or marketed as Brembo, they use such kind of covers in case if there is some certain lower subsidiary brand or something like that of Brembo happens to occur in the market, something like vibrate, wherein the pads would be similar to that of Brembo. I guess the prime use of that particular tactic from Brembo is to safeguard its financial interest, because the brake pads which are going to be used on Brembo calipers would be costing you something around 2,150 or something as such, and the similar brake pads or the same brake pads which is going to be used on say vibrate units, they would be slightly thicker compared to the brake pads which are used on the Brembo units. And that's why it would be very difficult for you to slide it inside the calipers once it's fixed at the top of the disc. And that was the reason I guess I needed to take off those plastic covers, and now I guess it would be easy to fit it. I guess there could be one more reason for using those plastic tops, and that could be, I guess, to insulate the heat which is going to be transferred directly from the pads to the cylinder. Anyway, now that we have taken out the covers, let's install it back. So we'll simply be putting it back here, and so all those shards and pieces that you are seeing, that's of the broken plastic that I have taken out. Okay, back to installing it. Let's tighten it. Now let's fit the brake pads. First the rear one. Same old procedure, you have to make sure that it gets into the slot and it's in place. Likewise, place the another brake pad. Now see, now it's pretty easy to slide it inside. Once you slide it completely, just make sure that it reaches here, and it's done. Once done, just slide the pin. Once that's slided in, push in this quarter pin inside the hole. You don't really need to apply too much of force, it's done. And that's how you change, or for that matter substitute, the original pads with the other one from the CBR, or for that matter the cheaper one. And that's how you have to find out the solution for most of the problems which is associated with a motorcycle, because these days most of the things are interchangeable, and the firm or the brand somehow try to make some manipulations or changes into their design so that you could be made to buy their own product instead of the product from the subsidiaries, and that's how I guess they safeguard their financial interest. So that would be all, folks, for the day. Till the next video, stay tuned, and yes, do let me know what you feel about this particular change, as that might be helpful, that might have some certain repercussions which I would only be knowing once I try the bike out on the road, and then I would be giving you the feedback how it's performing and stuff like that. I will again be opening it after like 1,000 kilometers run to see if there is any kind of damage to the next time. Stay tuned, build it, ride it.